The reason why I wanted to try this innovation was because typically in my writing classes, I teach freshmen. And it's been my experience that freshmen are typically hesitant to share their insights during large group discussion. And for me, that's problematic. I'm trying to create a community in the classroom where people are talking with each other. But when students are hesitant to speak, I have to do all the speaking. I have to drive and lead the conversation. I was excited about trying this innovation so that I could see if I can get more students to share their insights during class. One of the things that I hope would happen as a result of this was to create an environment where it would feel like a grad student level type of conversation. And so it was also my hope that students would pay more attention to each other, pay more attention to what their peers were saying. I mean, not just listening to me, but listening to each other, listening to what we were all talking about inside the classroom. Wanting to have conversations that are beyond my talking points for the day. I wanted to hear their insights so that we can have unique and in-the-moment kinds of conversations. So talk tickets, here's how it works. During the talk ticket day, I'll have my students write their names on 2 scrap sheets of paper. And during large group discussion, students have to respond to each other's comments, and they have to respond to each other by also using the person's name that they're responding to. And they can either agree with what their peer has said or disagree or whatever the case may be. And then at that point, I will collect their talk ticket.
I agree with Noah about how people are a product of their environment, because I feel like them growing up in that type of neighborhood, to the outside world, they might think they have a choice to either be in a gang or not.
I would agree with Kamari, how the author is trying to portray that people are a product of their environment. It's on page 142, and then when you grow up, then you end up being that. So, yeah.
Again, I'll take that, and I'll take talk tickets too. Again, not trying to excuse certain decisions people. The Talk Move handout has a list of 4 to 5 conversation starters. So if a student is not sure how to enter a conversation, they will at least have some models of how they can enter the conversation. And they can use the models provided, or they can use their own version of the models. Tips I would give faculty who might be interested in implementing this innovation inside their classrooms. One would be to just be prepared for the amount of students participating and to keep track of the talk tickets, because the participation comes so fast, and a lot of it. And then the second, the most important thing is to emphasize and make sure that students are, if they're responding to a student, make sure that they are using that student's name as a part of their commentary in response to that other student. I believe this innovation worked because I would read my students' submissions and their homework, and I would read their insights, but typically during class, I wouldn't hear their insights. During this innovation, I would hear from students that I would normally not hear from. I could see them being able to respond to someone else's insights. And then it also allowed me to sometimes go off script, and I can be in the moment with my students and really engage with whatever commentary that they were making on each other's insights and comments.